Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tasted like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into another episode of Abaticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything. It's the AFDE show. This is episode number 20, and it is our first episode of the new year, 2018. Happy New Year. This episode is called Beach Warden. Wanted some warm thoughts as we've had this Arctic blast over the last week, but it's going to be almost 50 on Thursday. The jet stream is going to change. We're going to get some warm winds coming off the Pacific from the southwest, and they'll trail through into the Midwest, and they'll warm up our temperature. I'm pretty excited about it.
The fake global warming is coming back.
Yeah, it sure is. Oh, God, don't even get me started on that.
No, we're not. No, please no. Please no.
Can't do it. Can't do it. So Beach Warden, episode 20. Thanks for being here and part of this show. We also want to thank our presenting sponsors, Mickey Finn's, being with us for another year. Look forward to a great year with them, as well as Will's Northwoods Inn.
Yeah.
And hopefully some new people joining the show in 2018. We'll have some different things on the podcast as the show moves along into the new year. Mickey Finn's, though, is Lake County's oldest brew pub. They are located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. Follow them on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. Remember, live entertainment every weekend. Last weekend, I stopped by real quick for a little bit. On Friday night, there was the Johnny Cash tribute band I mentioned to you.
Yeah.
Must have been like a 25, 26-year-old kid. Dressed up, played the part to a T, was outstanding.
Nice.
He was so good. I couldn't say the whole time. I was tired.
Did they have a June? Did they?
They sure did.
That's so cool. I was hoping that's what it was.
Yeah, and so she sang a little bit. He did a ton of what I saw their first set, and then I went home because I was old and tired. Yeah, still old, still tired.
I am now young and rejuvenated.
Yeah, I wish. But it was great. So they have live entertainment every weekend. You can check them out. Just go to their Twitter and see who they have coming up each weekend. Great food, great beer, and Santa's Magic was still on tap when I was there. So
dude,
it's still there for you.
I didn't know if you were going to bring it or not.
I didn't swing by today to grab any, so
it's okay. Because I've had it now twice, so it's I feel I've at the very least had a decent annual share.
You got it.
Yeah.
You know the taste.
Yes. Oh, man, it's so good.
You can follow us on Twitter as well at AFDE Show. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/AFDE Show. And you can email afdeshow@gmail.com. Do so anytime. He's Ferrari, I'm Abaticola. And this is where we discuss everything on episode 20, Beach Warden. So anything exciting in your past week since our last recording?
Yeah. Well, hey, I will officially announce.
Oh, will you do it now?
I will officially announce, yes, that I have a new job.
Requires big boy pants?
Yes, I've had to put on pants and commute. So I have done a few tweets about my experience on the Red Line from our handle.
Yeah.
The PP train and the yelling guy and things like that. But yeah, I started a new gig. If for those of you who have not listened to, I guess, show 1,
yeah,
the inaugural, kind of same thing I've been doing, digital strategy, stuff like that, where unless I sit down and speak with you, you will never understand what it is. People over a certain age will literally never understand what it is.
Right, so your mom and dad still have no idea what you do.
No, they stopped asking though, which
right.
I appreciate, because they're like, I don't know, we're just glad that you're gainfully employed.
Well, so you're a product of Make America Great Again. DT getting you a job. He's getting more jobs in the economy and booming.
I got myself a job. He had nothing to do with it. Moving on. So, yes, I started a new gig. I am super excited about it. It's been great thus far. And starting next week, the training wheels come off and they dump like a giant new client, unintentional rhyme, on me. So I'm pumped, though, because that's what I want. I don't like, being eased in. I kind of like, throw me, just just throw me in. Like,
Right.
throw me in. I'm going to kick its ass. So that's kind of what I love. Number 2 thing that happened this week, my wife is in Florida for 3 weeks. She left Tuesday.
Rough.
So I now have the apartment to myself. I'm going to apologize for what it looks like when she returns. No, actually, I'll straighten it up. I'll do things.
It's fine.
I'll cook. Yeah. Well, this room is not my fault. This is all Christmas stuff, and it goes in storage up in Madison. So I don't know where the hell else I'm supposed to put it other than here.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? No. This week. Well, I mean, it's 7 days. So but those are two significant things.
No, those are significant things. Yeah, absolutely.
New job and a wife who is enjoying the Miami Beach weather, then moving down to the Keys with my stepdaughter. Oh, my God.
Daughter.
I don't know where I'm from in the country. Mallory. And so she deserves it, man. I'm excited for her. And then I have a vacation where when you walk outside, your boogers freeze.
Yeah,
so
it's
good
been
times.
Been terrible weather here lately. It's going to warm up though. As I said, I've been watching a lot of news lately for some reason, and you see the weather like every 6 minutes.
I
on
wish
the local
I'd start
channels.
watching the Weather Channel versus any news. I still don't watch the news. I mean, I read things.
Yeah, I watch in the morning. I want to see if anything happened overnight while I was sleeping. So my mom's stories this week. I was watching TV last night, flipping through, and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was on TV.
Oh my God!
One of my favorite series as a kid as far as books by C.S. Lewis. So I left it on and wanted to see if it might interest the boys at all. They might catch it. And if you don't know the background of the story, about these kids in England, there's a wardrobe. It's a magical wardrobe that leads them to another land called Narnia,
and a witch,
where there's talking animals and a witch and whatnot. So
and a wardrobe.
My mom comes in the room and it's on, and she's like, "Oh, what is this movie?" And I'm like, "The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe." Oh, that's what I thought it was. Is this that movie where those kids come out of the closet? I'm like, no, Mom, it's the one where they go into the wardrobe, hence the name, The Lion, the Witch, and
she was
the
on the
Wardrobe.
right track.
Yeah,
she was on the right track.
She was
She
there.
just said it in a funny way.
Right.
And then somehow she thought Mike Myers was in it.
Right, for
We're
sure.
digging deep. We're digging deep.
This guy looks just like Mike Myers. He reminds me of Mike Myers. Well, Mom, it is Mike Myers.
Because it's him.
And here's what I noticed today about my mom. The boys were eating lunch earlier, and I heard her. She mentioned several times how good the chicken tenders smell in the oven. What's that cooking? And I'm like, just frozen chicken tenders, Mom. The boys eat. It smells delicious.
They do.
She mentioned it like 9 times.
Oh.
And then as they were eating, I walked into the bathroom. I came out of the bathroom, and she's like a vulture circling my kids,
I was just gonna say,
waiting for them
to
to
not
be
eat.
done. To be
Well,
done. And then she could snag a chicken tender
You
off the
can't
plate.
be that excited about how they smell, and not at the very least be able to eat like one.
I mean, they're 5 and
No,
3 and a
I know, but
half.
She's looking for.
Back
she's
off.
looking for kids.
Sit in the chair.
Food shrapnel.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna take their final bite, run to the garbage immediately, and dump them. I mean, they're toddlers. They leave them there.
Yeah.
Jack, I don't even take Jack's food away anymore. Like when he's done, I'll leave it on his dinner tray, and I'll move it over the side of the couch. Hour later, dude will walk back and start eating.
I saw that. Remember, God, years ago when Trish and I came in for that costume Olympic, the Olympic thing, and even when he wasn't speaking yet at that point.
Yeah, he was just starting
almost
to. Yeah,
there.
he was almost there.
Like you could tell he was almost there, but he was like whipping his food on the floor.
Yeah.
And stuff, but there were like little things on the side that you could tell. I don't know. It was about an hour later. I was hanging out with Hank, going over the color thing.
Oh, the color chart.
Yeah. And I just looked over, and Jack is just like,
Yeah,
still
so
here.
I leave his stuff out now because he'll go back and he eats. He kind of grazes. He kind of walks past. He plays. He goes back, grabs a bite. So I leave that out. But yeah, man, she was circling him like a vulture, and I was just like, Mom, I'm like, if you want some, make some.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, or at least give him some space. I mean, you're
assume
scaring Hank.
Your chicken tender storage is plentiful.
Yeah, I mean, there's always
like
some in the freezer.
That's like their favorite thing.
That's
right?
that's one of the things. They have like 6 or 7 things they'll eat for me, but then when they're at school and they have like a catered lunch at school from some like organic caterer, I know. Anyway, they eat anything on the menu, anything. It doesn't matter what it is, they eat it.
I know podcasts are audio, but Matt could see my face, the faces I make with they have an organic offering. It's like, what the fuck, man?
So I
had like
when they first go there, I was like, hey,
worst
so
food.
Like lunch, I go like, who does lunch? I'm like, do you guys make lunch here? And she's like, oh no, it's catered in. And I'm like, oh, I'm talking to the teacher, and I'm like, oh, what's the what catering is it? I thought it was, and she's like, oh, it's some organic caterer. And I'm like, of course it's an organic caterer, but whatever. I guess that explains the cost of lunches. But anywho, so yeah, there was Grandma circling the boys like a vulture, and I was just having to fight her off so they could actually eat their lunch. I'm like, Ma, you're scaring the kids. Back off a little bit. What else this week? I don't think anything else exciting.
Cold weather.
Just the cold weather. Yeah, it just makes everything miserable, man.
Work.
Yeah, work, cold weather. It just makes everything not fun. I mean, it's so miserable. Like people that like this and I enjoy the winter and I love we have 4 seasons here. Well,
but
good
I
for
don't
you.
mind winter. Like I don't mind normal winter. Where you go
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
Dude,
because it should have been in the 30s this whole week.
We've made
right,
jokes about this
fine.
like on the show before, or at the very least I have. Honestly, when it's 50 or above, I don't wear sleeves. I don't care. We're conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're totally conditioned for it. Like it's not like I'm like, hey man, I'm playing Iron Man football. No, it's I don't care.
Well, remember last time I came over, I had a vest on, and you're like, "So you're just not wearing winter coats this year?"
Well, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, probably not.
exactly.
Like I had a long sleeve shirt on, I was fine.
Yeah. But
I just hated
I wasn't taking a shot at you. It was more
No.
like, oh, you really no.
Right.
I said, Matt, you really just don't want to accept it. You
Not gonna
don't
do
want
it.
to wear a
'Cause,
coat.
dude. The winter, it just makes me not want to leave the house.
This though,
Which is fine, but I just don't want to leave the house.
this shit is different. Like this, I don't know. When I leave the house now to go to work, which God, man, I've been working remote for so long. I barely have to put on pants, let alone have to deal with this crap.
Going to an office
But I mean, like
blows.
when you leave at 7.
Yeah.
It's -3 feels like -13. But that stuff doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't like bother me in terms of I can do it. I have a good jacket. I wear a hat. I have good shoes, good socks. Like I'm prepared because I'm not new to the Midwest because
Right.
I've lived here my entire life. But it's unpleasant.
Yeah, and that's my mom says
unpleasant.
the same thing. She's like, well, as long as you dress warm enough, it's fine. I'm like, yeah, I get that, and I do. When I was walking in the city every day from the train station, it was fine. I dressed warm enough, and I would get to the underground pedway and walk from City Hall all the way.
I was just there yesterday.
Yeah, Infield. Is that the one that's by Macys?
Yes.
The Mason. Yes,
Yeah.
I walk past it all the time, and I used to call that section of it from Fields or from that Infields.
Yeah.
All the way back to where the trains are. That was the hallway of urine because that was just.
Oh, it just smells like pee.
It's just
But-
it's constant.
but-
But it was pretty though. You had the stained glass windows. They still have those on display.
Yeah.
And then you had the stained glass windows. You're like, well, this is really nice.
No, but then
and then the smell of urine.
that smells like pee.
The smell of urine hits you. No, the whole hallway.
But then, vestibule, like but it's like that hallway between doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I did though? I would cut in through Macys and skip that whole hallway. I would walk through Macys and it would take me right to where the
So
trains
my
are.
new building
Yeah.
is the one that's right next to the CVS on Michigan and Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you go down there, there's a Jimmy John's, and then you kind of go through that whole adventure
yeah.
where you walk through the Metro platform.
Yeah.
But then you get to that's the one I remember going to with you, where there was like all the chain restaurants and the whole thing smells like fucking Subway. I hate Subway
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, so that was
they're
the-
not going to be a sponsor.
Yeah,
I'm
that was the basement of my building.
So, yeah, exactly. I knew that I was there
Yeah.
when I smelled the Subway. But that bar, greatest bar name, honestly.
Wait, is that the bar you went to?
No, we
The
went
one-
to Infields, which I walked.
Yeah,
I had to
yeah,
walk
yeah.
further past.
What was
But
the other bar then?
The one that's right by the Subway is called. I don't know what it was called then, but now it's called Release the Kraken, which I just
Okay.
appreciate so much.
Yeah.
because that's an amazing name. But they had the sign, and I posted it on our Twitter yesterday. The sign said "free beer, topless bartenders, and false advertising," and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was at least 2, if not 3 different names when I was there.
Of course, well, yeah,
Yeah.
It's a pedway bar. I don't know how it does.
Well, I mean, dude, it was Fridays. It was packed.
Well, no, it was
Fridays. It was always packed.
slammed, and I'm pretty sure they were playing Backstreet Boys when I walked by.
Yeah, the jukebox that's there gets a pretty rough spin.
It's funny though.
Yeah.
Man, you go there, it's happy hour drinks. I don't give a shit what you play.
Yeah, there may have been a time or two that I would have run down during the show and had a quick cocktail.
So I was telling stories
maybe.
To my friend Tim and my friend Will, who has been on the pub crawls that I host every year and didn't realize he worked at the company I now work for. So
nice.
That's cool. But we went down and had some beers, and I was telling them stories about how I knew like score guys back in the day would go down there after. But you had told me, you would text me sometimes like at like 3. I'm like, are you working? Yeah. Just went downstairs, grabbed the beer, came back up. I'm like, dude, that's pretty fucking solid.
I would do that. Oh shoot, what is the name of the restaurant right there now? What's the name of the restaurant on Randolph and
Water? Something water?
No.
Oh, Randolph.
Good grief, they have the rooftop thing. It's in my old building. Oh, for the love of all that is good and holy, how can I not? I seriously, we start the show and my memory is just evaporates.
Yeah, except this is one that I'm okay with. I shouldn't probably remember this as well as you because you've been to it a lot.
Oh my
I've
god!
never
So
been
I
to it.
would go there and I would have like
I've never been to that place.
vodka rocks, blue cheese olives, and I would be like, I gotta be back in 20 minutes. So oh, that kind of day. Yeah, just didn't feel like going to the Pedway bar today. Needed something.
Wanted to go above ground.
Needed something with glass.
Above ground.
Glass that I can actually hold the glass. So, so the cold weather just makes things very difficult to do. And looking forward to the 3 months of summer we have coming up in June. So
I will
excited
say
about that.
it is more painful for me.
Oh, I'm sure with your back.
Yeah.
Big chunk of metal in your lower back.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it's...
Did you have metal in your leg too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have, let me think.
Baticola and Mr. Roboto discuss everything.
I have titanium from, if anyone knows where L3 is, if you go from L3 down to
your butthole,
almost, past my butthole.
Yeah, nice.
To right up, probably about, let's see.
You actually have a titanium butthole now,
what would
too.
we say this is right here?
Just above your knee.
Probably like 6? Here, I have a 12-foot.
Yeah, it's about 6.
Actually, here,
sure.
forearm space. Forearm is 12, right? Yeah, it's about 6.
6 inches, sure.
So about 6. I have from L3 down to 6 inches above my knee, titanium.
Titanium. See, you say titanium, I think Titanic, and I get all excited.
Well, I'm hoping I don't sink. That's.
Yeah, can you swim still or no? Or is it too heavy?
Dude, if I could do that all the time, I'm fine. Like in water.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, no, that's the best place.
No pain.
Yeah. That's why all the old people are there.
No pain.
I'll be there one day.
No pain.
I'll be doing like water aerobics.
I did notice that there is an LA Fitness because all of a sudden after the subway I smelled chlorine.
Yep.
I'm like, what the? There's got to be a pool, but in that area it's.
If I was early, because I would walk past that
$60 a month.
I would walk past that pool every day, and if I had enough time, I would sometimes stop and press my whole body and face up against the window and watch people swim.
Look at the lappers.
Just watch them, and they would all.
In our
freak out.
building, they're opening up physical therapy place.
Okay.
And I don't know if when you walk by them in the city, they don't like cloud the windows. So poor bastards in there are suffering and going through it, and you're like looking in like, I don't think this needs to be a motivational story.
Yeah,
let these guys.
There was one in
heal
the
themselves.
In the Aeon building, right across from Jimmy John's. There was a physical therapist that I was going to for my ankle.
All that whole area, there's a bunch of athleticos.
Yeah,
was an
it might have been
private one. Yeah,
it might have been.
That's what I did when I broke my leg.
Yeah.
I went to Athletico, and they were.
Yeah, I think that's where it was Athletico.
Outstanding.
But I have to sit there and smell Jimmy John's the whole time. Yeah, well, it's not bad.
Better than smelling Subway.
Oh man. At least you know what you're around when you smell it. You're like, yeah, there's definitely a Subway nearby coming up. So
stand Subway.
All right.
Again, not a sponsor.
Watched. I started a new show last night on HBO called Gunpowder.
Okay.
Kit Harington, the Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, is in this. It's like the 1600s. They outlaw Catholicism, and Catholics are being persecuted and tortured and killed. He's a nobleman. The opening episode, the pilot episode, his younger brother who's studying to be a priest, his older sister who owns the castle they're in, they're taken away by the law, and they won't denounce Catholicism, and they are publicly tortured. So, dude, his older sister is like in her 60s.
What's the name of it while you're telling this
Gunpowder.
story? All right, I'm gonna step away for a sec.
They strip her down naked, and they lay her down on the platform where they hang people. They take this giant metal plate that's probably 50 or 100 pounds, and they put it over her and it covers her from her her neck to her knees.
And this is HBO?
HBO, yeah. Then they take these weights that must be, I don't know, 100 to 150 pounds each. Yeah, Liv Tyler's in it.
Right.
And these big, they look like dumbbells, those things, the balls that people swing next to, the kettlebells.
The kettlebells,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you. They're not that shape, but it's kind of what they are. They got the handle. They're probably 100, 150 pounds each. Then the guy takes one, lifts it up, and he's struggling to lift it, and drops it on top of that metal plate, which is on top of this old woman. Oh shit! Drops a second one on her, drops a third one on her, and then a fourth one, and you just hear crunch, and then she's just gone, and like blood is everywhere. Yeah, it's gone. And you have all these lunatics like in the town that are like screaming and cheering for it because you won't denounce Catholicism, and so they want to see her killed. One lunatic in the audience has got like he's holding his baby up, and like so the baby can see.
It's like what
1600s? Yeah. So then they take his younger brother who was studying to be a priest. They hang him, but not till they don't like kill him.
Oh, it's
they
torture.
do it just and then
Always
they drop
torture.
him, take a knife, and they disembowel him.
All right, so like
So they cut his intestine out, and
like
the guy
Braveheart.
drags him out with his hands and drops him in front of this kid while he's still alive.
Yeah.
Stretches him out. Then they take an axe and they chop off one arm, a second arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
It's
then-
the same stuff.
And then they cut his head off
It's
and they
the
drop it in tar.
Religious,
Oh, yeah, dude, it's
religious
brutal.
persecution period with the disembowelment.
Yeah.
And oh man.
So I was like, all right. But it's good though. And Kit Harington now he's
After
on.
all that, it was a delight.
Well, he's that period of history. It intrigues me. So now Kit Harington is going to spend the rest of this first season out to get revenge on his family, and I'm like, he's gonna. Although his outfit was kind of weird. He had like a leather jacket on. I don't know. He looked like a dancer. But
It's weird that he's because I understand it's between.
Because Game of Thrones is 2019.
Between filming, but yeah, it's odd that they're like, we're going to throw you into another
he actually
uncomfortable series on HBO.
he's one of the writers, one of the producers of this show.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it might even be the creator of it too. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, so if you get a chance, check it out. Gunpowder.
I need to look into
I've watched one episode only.
what he's all about
because
because that's weird. If he's like, I've decided to start a series on HBO about the Catholic religious persecution.
yeah, I don't know a whole ton about him. And then Liv Tyler, she's puffy Liv Tyler, kind of.
She's blown up for the show.
I don't know.
She's still hot.
I'm not sure. Oh yeah, she's
I don't even
super
care.
hot.
Like I haven't even watched it, and I know
Well,
I know she's going to be hot.
I was a huge fan of her when she played the elf princess.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time we were actually exposed to her? Well, see, I don't know. You have a
don't.
weird music enjoyment background.
How
She was in with Alicia Silverstone. The two of them played girls in Catholic school uniforms in an Aerosmith video. Well,
I remember
obviously,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Yep,
I'm
no, I
like,
remember.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Steven Tyler's daughter.
He made that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, did you see isn't it Bebe? Like, she was a smoking groupie. Like, you're not surprised
Right.
that...
But I mean, the fact that something that hideous can create something, like, be a part of that.
yeah.
Although chicks dig him because he's a
rock star, dude.
Yeah, he's not an attractive man.
No, but he's a rock star.
And well, the worst is Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger is oof, wow. Catcher's miss.
Petty.
Mask for,
I mean, R.I.P., buddy. I love Petty. We've talked about it on the show, but yeah, not a handsome man.
yeah.
Rock stars, man. That's fine. You know what? They get a pass. They get a pass.
Yeah.
Timeless music, they get a pass.
All right. So NFL playoffs starting up right now. Actually, the first game of the weekend is going on. You got Chiefs and Titans happening. Bears fired John Fox, like we all knew they were going to do, and the search for a new head coach is on.
Yeah. Man, I have lots to say, but I don't know how much time we want to spend on this. Actually, I want to ask you a question because Matt knows that I am way more into this. Actually, even when he was working in sports radio, I was way more into this. Just, I love college ball. I'm starting to love it more, but I still love the pros, and obviously we love the Bears. The way they are or not, it's just kind of the definition of being a fan. Like, it is what it is. They're shitty or they're good. Lately, they've been shitty. But the NFL offseason is always fun. I think it's super fun. I love it. You know, don't want to see people get fired, but at the same time, they deserve to get fired because they're not winning. You know, and the NFL that we grew up with is not what we deal with now because it's, you know, the not for long league, It's what have you done for me lately? It's you get 3 years, but you know what, John Fox, 3 years, last place in the division. We're not shocked at the firing,
right? And and it's interesting too when you hear the commentary after the fact. You could pick out how good of a guy John Fox was as a guy by the people that covered the team, and still would look for any reason to give him credit for these last 3 seasons when he deserved no credit because the team was terrible. And I know a lot of injuries, and Ryan Pace is there too with it. But when you heard over and over and over again this last week, John Fox came in and took a situation that was horrific, took a situation and brought football back into the building, took a situation that was chaos in a locker room that was in turmoil, and he brought it back some stability and made it an NFL franchise again. Like when you're struggling to make compliments like that, you know how good of a guy he was. Because if he was a bad guy, you wouldn't hear anything positive.
Because if your only vision of him, your only exposure to him is
terrible press conferences and a terrible record.
Yeah, his press presence. And
that's all a problem.
The more it went, the more, man, was he just he didn't want to be out there.
I tell you what, though, dude,
and he was very condescending, and it just got bad. But it still doesn't. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
what were you
right.
gonna say?
No, fine. It still isn't what?
I was just gonna say it still isn't. I don't think it's representative of who he is.
No,
and who he is as a coach. And I do think that he had two goals, or 2 things that he was tasked with. One, shifting a culture that actually wasn't a culture from Trestman.
Right,
like it
was bizarre.
It got bad.
Yeah, it
got
terrible.
bad, and he had some veteran players.
I mean, remember Trestman assigned lockers?
It was bad.
And it was like singing Kumbaya.
Basically,
let's go around the room and say something about each other.
Hey, you're Brian Urlacher, and you need to be friend with this special teams guy.
It was like that day,
You know
like the very night before he watched Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
And it was like you're gonna pair up an offensive player with a defensive player, and he's like, that's a great idea.
The method behind it. But these are like grown-ass men, right? Like
they're millionaires that play a sport that can kill them.
On a thread by they want to either like play their hearts out because they're an athlete,
right?
Or they've already been paid and they're like, you are a clown,
right?
Like it got bad. So mission 1, he accomplished. Completely created a football culture.
He made it an NFL place again. Right.
Yes, he brought that. Winning, not so much, but I don't know that I will ever hang any of that on him because it comes from above, man. But I don't even. We'll get into Pace in a second, but it comes from above him. It's just how football is structured, approached, and played on the Bears level,
right? From
ownership down, has been subpar for a very, very long time.
You know what? He did give me my favorite quote from any individual in sports ever.
Like you got a direct quote or just one?
No, just one from his press conference talking about how hard the job is. And he said the job's so hard it's like holding Jello. It's just one of the greatest things I've ever heard. I mean, it tickles me still to hear it. When I even think about him saying it, when I hear
it's a solid analogy.
Right. When I hear it replayed again, it's a hard job. It's like holding Jello.
Yeah.
I was just like,
he could have.
Brilliant.
It's like insert juggling reference
so
here.
Good.
Yeah.
It's like holding Jello, which really technically I've tried is not all that hard to be honest with you.
Basically, I mean, I think about it. Since you've met me, I think our word together, and you've actually said this to me multiple times when we first met. Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the franchise is, the complete opposite of solid, thus the Jello reference.
Right, because maybe he was trying to hold it before it took shape, and like he mixed the water in with the powder, and then he tried to hold it, and it's like, well, yeah, it's going to come out.
I would have
liked
liked to hear him use the word like gelatinous in a press conference.
That was like holding a gelatinous substance.
Taking it to oh my god, that would have taken it to a whole new level. Bill Nye meets John Fox.
All right, so he's gone. They've had interviews underway already. Josh McDaniels. And you can fill the list out better than I can. Oh, there we go. John DeFilippo, Josh McDaniels, Pat Shurmur, George Edwards, who is the defensive coordinator for the Vikings, if you don't know, and Vic Fangio.
Yep, and Matt Nagy, who is playing right now.
Yeah,
or not playing. Excuse me, coaching right now.
Chiefs are up 7-0. That's going to be an easy one.
So here's a topic I want to get to that I've been texting Matt about this week. And I don't know. It's not really us going into any philosophical part about it. It's more just the truth, I think. The Rooney Rule.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I obviously appreciate what it is. I do think that from year to year, there's a little bit of a mockery involved in it. It's mandatory that each team with an opening for both general manager and head coach, not on the coordinator level yet, but I think that's going to come soon, must interview a minority candidate. And I can't say it feels like it is a technicality, and it is a box that people check before they actually hire who they want to hire.
Right, and what's uncomfortable about it is the fact that it could just be a task, as you mentioned. Oh, the box is checked, and let's move on now. We've got this part out of the way.
Right.
And there could be a feel for it like that. Some guys can obviously take it sincere and take it to heart and really, really do it. There's part of me that doesn't like that forced aspect of it, but there's also a part of me that understands why it needs to be done. I think it's important to have it done. I heard Hub talk about this the other day, and he made a comment about it because someone asked, and they whoever it was, I can't remember who it was, they felt the same way, that it's like a forced thing. They don't like the feel behind it. And Hub was like, yeah, I get where you're coming from on it. And just paraphrasing what Hub said, he was like, but it's also great experience for guys to get these interviews, because not all guys get jobs in their first interview, because you don't always do it right. Maybe you're not always ready for it, but having that opportunity,
right?
Then maybe when you really are getting that opportunity to interview, because that guy really thinks you could be a quality head coach for them, you have that experience in your pocket of, I've been through it. I know what I did wrong. Right. I know what I did right.
Oh,
so I get the point to it, right?
They tell you the Fritz Pollard Alliance. They tell you,
So I get it, but I also I support it. I think you have to have it. Have to have it in the league here, where not enough African Americans are getting the recognition as far as coaching that they should. When you look at the players within the league, obviously, I get why people think, the whole force thing of it is just, and then you have the racist people who are going to take it to the next level, and we'll leave them out of it. But yeah, I get where you're coming from on it. I'm glad they do it though, because it is great experience, and you never know what it leads to. And maybe a guy gets that that interview because
you blow someone away in an interview,
and you blow someone away, and it's like, holy crap.
So I look at it twofold, right? And actually, in our particular hiring instance, this is why I brought it to light. Just Matt and I text all week, but here's a thought I had. So when they released the original list of people that we had officially requested permission for. So if anybody doesn't know this, if you're interviewing for someone for a head coaching position, it's just a formality to officially request. Anyone, the NFL and a team cannot block anyone to interview for a head coaching position, which is good. I appreciate that. But when they did the first release, we had, 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive guys, and then Steve Wilkes, who is now the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, who used to be our defensive back coach for a couple of years when Ron Rivera was coaching the defense and we went to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Either way, he's a minority candidate, and when I saw that, I said, well, actually he should be interviewed. Doesn't necessarily have to be by the Bears, but someone should be interviewing this guy, and he's now on 3 people's lists. I believe it's the Giants, the Colts, and the Cardinals. But, first instinct. Okay, that's the Rooney Rule guy. I don't want my mind to work that way, but it does. And then when the Bears said we're now going to travel to Minnesota because they're on a bye week and interview Pat Shurmur, and when they said they're also going to interview George Edwards, I'm like, okay.
Was that just in there just because it's convenient and we need to do it?
They had the 4 interviews they had that week were all offensive guys.
Yeah.
And if they met with McDaniels, Shurmur, Shurmur, McDaniels, DeFilippo, and then Nagy's coming up.
Yeah.
If they like any of those guys, that box is checked. So I'm not trying to disrespect George Edwards by any means. And at the very least, you get to interview someone who had the number 2 defense in the NFL this year.
Right.
And also knows how to defend your team. I mean, you're getting intel from someone in the division. So, like, the interview itself is invaluable for us as from an intel standpoint, but it checks that box.
Oh, and also, as you say that, in case you missed it, the Bears did lose their final game of the season to the Vikings. So.
Yeah.
Case you
it checks that box, right? I don't know. I just feel like if you're really, really looking at this objectively, that's kind of how it works. I did hear, other than from Hub, there were some interviews this week, and just following on, on the Twitski, people were saying that anyone who's on the Fritz Pollard Alliance, anyone who is a candidate that they mention and they support, without question, even if they think it's token, based on what you said, seriously, it should take those interviews because it's invaluable to them. At the very least, you get interviewing experience. You know, and they give you feedback. So you know what you did well. You know what you need to work on. You know what you need to do for the next round. Because these guys might be, on the cusp interviews now, but they're going to be legitimate candidates. I mean, it is the pattern. It is an absolute copycat league. If they continue to be good coordinators, they're going to be the next hot candidates the next year.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all plays out for the Bears and our very own Ryan Pace, who did get an extension, and he is now the GM of the Bears through 2021, which would just tell you that any coach who's hired gets a 4-year deal. And we'll be here for the time of Ryan Pace. And if they don't accomplish their task of at least getting to a Super Bowl in that time, we're looking at a regime change in 2021. Yep. So at least we know we have 4 years of, unless it's just a complete train wreck.
Right.
I mean, unless it's just worse than what John Fox ever did. Yeah, I can't see.
I don't.
Right.
I just don't see
I hope not
being a thing.
I hope not.
Honestly.
I hope not. So, I mean, if Trubisky's ends up being a bust, then, which I don't think he's going to be, it's going to be a problem.
Right. But, I mean,
it's all a problem.
I mean, if you bring in a couple of offensive role players, I feel like we've got a decent core on defense. We've got some guys who are injury prone, who are older, upwards of 30, they're going to be gone. Right. There's no way to really know what's going to go on, but I don't think that the arrow is pointing down necessarily roster-wise. I did throw some bullets in on below us talking about the Bears. Questions I have for you, Matt, are so there's obviously a lot of conversation about offensive versus defensive. I mean, I'll even throw in special teams. I'm going to be bummed out year to year until the guy gets too old that he's not even a candidate.
Dave Tobe.
Tobe's not on the table. It doesn't even have to be with the Bears.
Right.
Just somewhere.
Has he got interviews yet? Because I know there was talks of...
Nope. No
and,
formal requests, at least.
Okay.
I mean, Colts makes sense because Ballard's there, the guy that I was kind of hoping we would have hired back before we hired Pace, and then he would have brought Tobin. But anyway, so I have a thought on the offensive versus defensive head coach thing. Obviously, we're not in the room, and
I am.
Well, yeah, we're in a room.
Oh, okay.
It's best candidate, whoever you think can lead the team. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. But as we've seen in the league, as we've seen on our own team with Adam Gase, when we knew the guy was going to come in, and if he produced any kind of a good season, he was going to be taken away. If we hire a defensive guy and he brings in a good offensive coordinator, the guy's gone. The guy who is tasked with coaching up Trubisky and making him a franchise QB. That is why I would prefer that we bring in someone who is an offensive mind, who's going to lead the team in that capacity and bring in supporting cast, a good offensive coordinator, basically who's, watching tape, a good quarterbacks coach, because if these guys get elevated, our head coach is still running the offense. Right. You see it everywhere.
Yeah, and I want the best guy available, the best guy.
Right, but what does that mean?
Ryan Pace. I mean, I don't care defensive or offensive.
I know.
And if it is a defensive guy, and the only way you lose your offensive guy after year one is if you make the playoffs next year.
Right.
If you're not,
I don't think that's the case for nowadays. If the guy just improves the offense, I think he gets plucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you've got to have a 10-plus win season and make the playoffs.
Right, but
if you're going to get yanked after 1 year.
But that's what we
of
think.
being in the job.
Yeah.
You know, if you're talking about 1 year offensive coordinator to become a head coach, elevated after one season as a coordinator, my opinion is, I mean, you have to have a playoff.
Right, but
team.
I mean, if some guy comes into Cleveland and they go from 0 wins to 6 wins, but they have really good offensive output, that guy's going to be at least interviewed.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things because the league is like hurting. Like, I mean, it's hard enough. The hardest thing to do, I think, in professional sports is to get a good quarterback.
I want Pace to do what I want him to do in the draft in the first round. Whatever guy he thinks is the best fit for this team, best fit for him, hire that guy. At number 8 in the draft in April or May, whenever the hell it is now, I want the best college player that's going to be a starter in the NFL the next day. I'm tired of, and I've been saying this year after year after GM after GM after GM after
Potential
GM.
versus
Take a guy
game
who
changer.
starts tomorrow. I don't care what his position is. I'm tired of a top 10 guy being a guy that can't start the game the next day.
Right. If it's offensive
Because
line,
other
if it's
teams
defensive
do it.
back, if
Bears
it's
do it now. I don't
pass
care.
rusher.
I don't care. I don't care if it's offensive lineman. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's a safety. I don't care. You at 8 take a guy that starts the next day in the NFL.
I agree.
Enough of this crap.
I agree. Especially in there. Yeah, we're not.
If you want to show everyone how smart you are, do it in the 4th round.
We don't have
Tariq Cohen, fine.
As he has.
So show your smarts there.
Right.
Take the guy that's going to start and impact your NFL team the next day.
No
Show us
trickery.
how smart you are in 6.
No trickery.
Show
Hey
us
man,
how smart you are.
there are
going to
be
a
5
trade.
QBs going in the first round this year.
Right.
Trade down and take a starter. That's really
take a
all
starter.
I want.
Right.
That's all I want.
And then
I agree.
show us how brilliant you are by trading a 5th round pick for a 6th round pick and turn that guy into a starter in year 2 or 3.
Yep.
Fine. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
Take the guy that starts in the NFL the next day.
I agree.
This isn't baseball. You're not taking a high schooler who's 18 and let him sit in the minors for 7 years. Start the guy tomorrow because his career is 5 years
this
long.
isn't a development league.
Right, he plays 5 years.
It's not a well, let me take a step back. We hope that our coaches are good enough to develop these players,
Right.
but this isn't a
Right.
hey, you've got a couple of years to no,
Right.
you're not red-shirted.
Because if you take a guy and it's going to be, oh man, this guy has the potential to be a star in 3 years. Cool. Well, his
know
career's half over.
I feel
that
like
at that
anyone
point.
who gets drafted has the potential because it's the hardest league to get into.
But I mean, at that point, his career's half over. It's like, all right, cool. Take the guy who's been making the Pro Bowls the last 3 years. Take him.
Agreed.
Whatever position is, take him. I mean, really, do you have anybody on this team outside from me? Because Trubisky, because he was number 2 pick, and you invested in the
Right,
future.
but we're not putting him there. Yeah.
Right, outside of Trubisky, outside of Howard and Tariq Cohen,
Hicks.
Akeem Hicks. Yeah,
Are you talking about Pro Bowl?
No,
I thought you said Pro
I'm talking
Bowl.
about any guy you can draft.
Kids?
That I would immediately replace anybody on the roster right now. Outside of Trubisky and Cohen and Howard.
Eddie Jackson, for sure.
Fine.
I told
Eddie
you he was
Jackson.
going to be a
Fine.
starter. Yeah,
Fine.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
4 guys. Any
No,
other
that's it,
position,
though.
you can replace anybody tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not saying kick him off the team.
No.
But you bring a guy in,
No,
it's like,
no,
hey,
no.
guess what? This guy's going to be ahead
They're
of you
going
on
to
the depth chart.
push anyone who's comfortable.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I agree
Absolutely.
with you. And everyone you
Absolutely.
named, that's your.
I mean, this isn't a roster full of Pro Bowl players. Like, we can't do that to him. Sure, you can.
Obviously, we
you can.
barely have all pros.
Right, he's a 4th alternate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. You can offend someone. Sorry, it's the NFL. Sorry. Hey, sorry, your job's in jeopardy, Mr. Veteran. This guy's going to start tomorrow, and he's 6 years younger than you are.
That's what it is. You're
Right.
a pro. That's what it's. Yeah, that's not
so
surprising.
irritated. I just get so irritated. But the potential, we see the potential in this guy. Cool. How about the guy that starts in the NFL the next day?
Right, you
How about
moved
that
up.
guy?
You drafted the guy that's going to be your guy that you're going to stand by, and
Fine.
We don't know what we have in Trubisky, but I feel like I'm encouraged
I am too.
by the potential.
Right.
I went for it. Sorry, I used the word potential,
I
mean, I
listen. I've seen rookie mistakes from him, which I've expected, and I've seen flashes of potential greatness with him that I didn't expect.
right.
Cool.
Yep.
Let's see how that develops.
Exactly, and that's going to start with our coach. 2 things NFL wise that I wanted to ask you about, Matt.
Yep.
One being owners in the room for first interviews. George and Ted traveling with Ryan to interview all these guys and sitting in the room.
I have no problem with it as long as it ultimately falls upon Ryan Pace. If Ryan Pace sits down and let's just say it's George and Ted because those are names everyone. I want them fired. I want them killed. All right, sell the team. let's say it's the three guys.
I don't want anybody killed, but I
let's
want
just-
Ted to move over into accounting. And
Fine.
shut the
Let's
fuck
just
up.
let's just say Ted, George, and Ryan. And if Ted and George are saying this guy, this guy, this guy, and Ryan says no, this guy, and that guy ends up being the coach, I don't care if they're in the room. As long as it ultimately is his final decision, I don't care, because Ryan Pace is not the end-all, be-all GM. And if other people can be in the room who have been in the NFL for as long as they have and can just maybe they pick out something in an interview.
Well, yeah, but
that troubles them. There's a red flag that Pace misses out on.
With what basis of success? Like Phillips is like, I've been around a lot of coaches, and
doesn't matter. I mean, how many guys are in the league and have been in the league forever that don't win championships?
right.
I mean, are they roasted in their cities like these two idiots are? Probably not, because Bears fans are so dumb. You find the wrong things to fight about. You find the wrong things to piss you off.
I have one issue after thinking about it over and over and over, and because it's like we've seen this change the record year after year after year after year. If I were a head coaching candidate and interviewing, I want to ask the general manager questions about ownership and how they approach things and what it's like. And they're sitting in the fucking room. Like, I don't care if they're there.
That's a good point, yeah.
It just annoys the shit out of me that Ryan Pace should be sitting with Josh McDaniels, and McDaniels should say, okay,
and
honestly.
you know what? And we don't really know how a social aspect of it plays out.
They're
maybe,
sitting in there.
I know, but maybe Pace and McDaniels grab dinner. They grab a drink. They grab a coffee. They go for a walk around the facilities.
Fine.
And they're alone.
Yeah,
we just don't know.
We hope
you just
that's
don't
the
know.
case.
Right.
I know we don't know, but what I'm envisioning is the three. We're going to be sounding boards. No, you guys are interfering with an interview where someone's going to, and rightfully so, ask, "Hey, man, if I come in here." I know you're supported by them because I see what they say in press conferences, but what is it like what am I coming into?
Right, and that's a fair objection to have to it if that alone time doesn't happen, because that is fair, because that would be super uncomfortable.
Otherwise, it's not different than any other team.
The whole idea of people being, George shouldn't be in there, he shouldn't be in there, he's the owner. I mean, do people think Robert Kraft is like the greatest NFL mind ever because he has Bill Belichick? I mean, would you feel more comfortable if Robert Kraft was in a room interviewing a guy?
He lucked into
right.
that.
He lucked into a guy. Right.
I just
perfect.
mean, yeah,
so
but
who
I
cares?
just.
But no, that's a great point.
That's my only.
Hopefully they overcome that.
That's my only reservation.
And even if they had enough forethought, they might be able to say, all right, at this portion, we're gonna, we're out. Good to meet you.
Yeah.
Best of luck with everything, and Ryan's gonna finish up with you with a few things, and then that's the alone time they have.
Get out.
Right.
Get out.
That's fine.
That's
fair.
That's it, man. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about was, so obviously we're interviewing. We've, at the very least, publicly requested permission from teams for 6 candidates.
Yep.
We've interviewed 5 as of today. We interviewed John DeFilippo. Tomorrow, after whatever the outcome of the game that is around the corner being played by the Chiefs and the Titans, we are interviewing Matt Nagy. I don't know if that's our last, at the very least, first interview. I assume if they find a guy they want, they're going to aggressively go after him. But the Super Bowl and the playoff coaches and this how it works right now. I'm curious, Matt, how you feel about it, because I feel like year after year, the parity and the tenure of coaches, like it's like 2-3 years, you're gone. This process where you actually get penalized from an interviewing standpoint, the better the team that you're coaching for does. So we have people who are on a bye week. We were able to interview most of them this week. Nagy is the only one who's playing a wild card game right now. We get to interview him tomorrow. But then if these teams progress, we don't get to interview them again or hire them until after the Super Bowl. I feel like these guys get fucked. Yeah. I feel like the better your team does, the worse chances you have of getting a head coaching job, because people don't want to wait. They don't want to wait because not only do they potentially lose out on a head coaching candidate, but also assistants,
right?
Your staff. Because as people get hired, they're bringing people over.
I guess we have to look at it and see how many guys from Super Bowl teams are actually given jobs and see if there's a huge
or
discrepancy.
Agree in principle, like Quinn, where they waited for the Super Bowl.
Here's a way to resolve that then in my world, but this will never happen. When you talk about eliminating preseason games, you could eliminate preseason games and leave 2 preseason games, which would then free up. Let's say technically it would free up 2 weeks.
I 100%
where you can have
agree with
after
where
the
you're
Super Bowl
going.
is over, be like, this is the period. I mean, dude, they flew out to Boston and then they flew out to Minnesota on the same day. These guys, and you're not going to have as many teams hiring coaches each year as you're going to have this year. You're going to have a lot of coaches.
Well, we might have more next year. Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah.
A 2-week period with guys who do literally nothing but run football teams can get all this done in a 2-week period.
Yep.
When this is the hiring period.
Yep.
And not worry about all this crap, because it is stupid. It's stupid that some guys are at a disadvantage because their teams continue on in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's dumb. It's really dumb.
I hate it.
So you know what? The day the Super Bowl ends, man. Once the Super Bowl ends, you start your interviews. If the final second ticks away, Patriots are the Super Bowl champions, and you're sitting across the table from Josh McDaniels or whoever it might be, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. Start the interview then.
I agree.
That there's a 2-week window that starts when the Super Bowl ends.
It's fair.
Let the playoffs happen exclusively.
It makes it fair.
And then let a hiring period happen exclusively.
Right.
And then start your offseason.
Think about just from top to bottom, if a team wins the Super Bowl, say Belichick wins the Super Bowl, right? Clearly he's doing okay. He's like, man, I'm done. I'm out. Like, that can affect everything.
Right.
That's like a top to bottom affect everything in the league kind of scenario. Right. I agree. I think that preseason should be shortened. Regular season should be extended. Playoff season is fine. I don't see anything wrong with how the playoffs work. It's, division winners. I mean, it is what it is. It's the college. Right. College has now mirrored it. Good. I like it. But yeah, everyone interviews after the Super Bowl. I don't care if it pushes the season out. I mean, I know it's cold, but who gives a shit? Right. Are we really upset if the NFL season goes into the middle of February instead of the first week of February?
If the Super Bowl is the third week of February.
Who gives a shit?
Right.
It should work that way. It should work that way. The whole coaching thing, it's problematic.
I'm for shortening the preseason game wise. I'm not for extending the regular season. I think 17 weeks with a bye week is fine for me. I don't think you need to. What I do want, and also something that will never happen, is to eliminate Thursday night games. It's
they're horrible.
I mean, except for Thanksgiving, keep the Lions and the Cowboys.
No, that's it.
That's fine.
They're horrible.
You know what? And if
football Sundays,
because those franchises,
Mondays, Sundays and Mondays.
Those franchises wanted it. They wanted those Thursday Thanksgiving games.
And those matches are always
fine.
Horse
so
shit.
They wanted them. Then fine, keep them.
No.
You know what? If they want out and some other team wants to jump in, fine. Then make that happen. Or limit it all together, but there's no Thursday night games. That's stupid.
They're looking. What's funny is they're looking for opportunities to make more money. Completely understand that, but the matchups are shit.
Right.
People aren't watching the games. People aren't showing up to the games.
I mean, you have star players that can barely walk by Wednesday, and you're like, play a game the next day.
Exactly. You put them at a disadvantage.
Their body never feels right. But as far as like a game week's concerned, their body's not right till Saturday. Right? No, they are
for being pros.
Right.
Because the NFL wants to make more scratch. So yeah, I agree. But I mean, I feel like from the coaching standpoint, it is unfair that you are penalized for your team being good. Like, I think that sucks because obviously there are candidates on those teams who deserve an interview, and the time.
Make it a 2-week period. Yep. Once the Super Bowl ends,
2 weeks.
That Monday morning.
Put that window
starts.
in. It should be that window.
Monday
you can
morning.
Look at the whole season and have 2 weeks to interview guys.
Monday morning, 9 a.m. That starts, and 9 a.m. Eastern. NFL coaching season is open.
Yeah, make it like the off season, like they do everything else.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So that's that's all I had.
Hey, you know what? And you want to sell it? You want to sell it? Have it somewhere.
Yeah. Indianapolis, go.
Have it in have it in Miami.
Yeah.
Have it in San Diego, and have all the guys there. I mean,
coaching combine.
Yeah, sure,
seriously,
sure, do it.
I would watch the shit out of that.
And then plan it during that 2-week period. Have owners meetings.
Yep.
Have rules and regulation meetings. Get it all done. Make it a thing. Sell it.
I agree.
You want your more money? There you go.
Think about it, man. You could hammer that out in 2 weeks.
Yes,
you really could.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Especially if you're all in one spot.
I mean, this is these guys' lives. How do you really think they need to prep for an interview that much? They need to look at some personnel.
Right.
But they don't need...
Guys know who's who.
These guys are prepping for the game, man. Let the playoffs and Super Bowl play out.
And of course, they all talk. Do you think? I mean, maybe they don't know Ryan Pace personally, but they know what the Bears are.
Right. They're not stupid. They know the personnel. Right. All right. Yeah. So we could talk about this for fucking ever.
Let's move on. Moderately paced fire questions.
Oh boy.
Pull mine up here.
There we go. Okay. I got mine. You want to start?
Yeah. Go ahead. You start it.
All right. Just knowing you, I thought this was a funny question. If you were a cake, what would it be?
Oh boy. I'd probably have to go back to my childhood favorite. A boxed cake. Where you just add water, everything's there for you, and it would have to be.
Oh God, I'm with you for saying
a strawberry cake with white frosting.
Okay,
that was my favorite as a kid. I thought the yellow cake with chocolate was too cliche.
But I love that.
Yeah.
But so first of all, I thought you were gonna say whatever you said and then call me a fruitcake.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna keep this question in. But fruitcake is probably one of the worst things I've ever eaten.
I've never actually tried one.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah.
It's like gummy bears, but if they were from a different planet thrown into a poop cake. It's fucking awful.
You know what?
Awful.
If not the boxed strawberry cake with the white frosting, give me a red velvet. Red velvet cake is my favorite.
There is a cake from a bakery, Busy Bee Bakery in downtown Downers Grove that my parents would get for like everybody's parties. Atomic cake, which was like every cake you could think of. So it was like vanilla, chocolate. There were layers. And then it was there were a layer of strawberries and a layer of bananas, and it was just awesome. So that's what I would be, the atomic cake.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right, here's a question for you. I need you to really dig deep and think about this one. Why can't we tickle ourselves?
It's all mental, right?
I don't know.
I don't know for us, like. I don't know. I don't think I've ever found joy in it. In fact, I think it like bothers me more than, I'm not like, it's not funny.
But why can't we tickle ourselves? Why doesn't it work?
Well, we can. It
doesn't work though.
Right. But that's not your question. You didn't say, why doesn't it work?
Okay.
You said, okay. We can tickle ourselves.
Then why isn't tickling ourselves effective?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. How the hell am I supposed to answer that?
Because you're supposed to know.
I'm supposed to know this?
Yes.
All right.
On you.
We'll think about this.
Fine. I thought it was a good question. Why can't we tickle ourselves? Now people are listening to this and they're tickling themselves, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not really
I kind of feel
ticklish."
like people do that anyway when they're listening.
Well, it's not tickling
in the car.
Yeah.
What relationship do you think needs the most work in your life?
With myself.
I think every single one. Honestly?
No, that's good.
Every single one. Yeah. Because can it not? I think it can improve across the board.
Sure.
How I feel about myself, how I approach things, how I treat my family, how I treat my friends, how I treat strangers, how I treat coworkers.
Yeah.
Every single thing I can be better at.
That's good. Yeah. I go with that. I go to be a better person all the way across the board. Is double dipping at a party ever acceptable?
I do it. I don't give a fuck.
I said me too. If you don't like it, stop dipping.
Deal with it.
Yeah. Move on.
If I'm putting my hand like down my pants and then putting my hand in the dip,
right,
it's different.
Right.
If I'm like, you know what, this dip is so fucking good and my chip broke off, I'm getting that chip out.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
No, that's fine. Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. If you don't like it, move on to a different dip.
Yep.
All right.
Favorite musicals of all time.
Favorite musicals?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And it doesn't even have to be plural. I just wanted it in case because I like musicals for different reasons.
Yeah. All right. What was the one that was about the young rock star? What was that one? They made a movie out of it that was terrible with Tom Cruise. What was that one?
That's your favorite?
No, I'm just asking you because I haven't seen many musicals, and it's very limited.
Crap.
Musicals to choose from. I guess I would have to say Grease.
I know what you're talking about.
Grease would have to be my favorite then because that's the one I've enjoyed the most. But I did enjoy the live version of that one.
The movie though.
Yeah, but it was still a musical.
Right. Well, okay, yeah. So
other than that, the only one I've ever seen was that one that you can't think of the name of. Oh, Rock of Ages.
Yeah, that's it.
Rock of Ages.
I saw that.
Yeah. No,
and when I was working at WGN, they gave me free tickets. It was the shit.
If it has to be a musical that you've actually seen,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Then it'd be big.
Or
that's the only one.
You could still you could see it as a video. I'm not saying you actually had to go see it because some of the musicals, it's not physically possible year-wise for us to actually have seen them.
That would be it then, because it's the only one. But it is something I wish I did more, like go to the theater more.
Oh man, I love them. So my favorite, I have for a couple of reasons. My favorite overall musical, Wicked. I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, you have. It's coming back.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe it is
probably not,
back.
unless I don't think Trish has seen it, so maybe I'll take her. But I mean, like I've seen it 3 times, but I saw it with Kristen Chenoweth and with Anna Gasteyer. Like that was the original one. Yep. Unbelievable. And it because I was obsessed with Wizard of Oz as a kid. Like I loved it. You asked my parents. I watched that more than anything else. The best vocals. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the original Jesus Christ Superstar. Unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable how good the singing is in that.
Okay.
It's so good. And then I saw it live, and the guy from the original movie from the 70s, the guy from the who's the lead singer of Yes, came back and did the musical. Unreal.
Okay.
And then Book of Mormon's the one. I've never laughed at anything harder.
Yeah, I wish I had seen that.
Ever laughed at I've nothing. Ever laughed at it harder, but the guys that sung in it, just slayed it. They're all like 19 years old.
I'm waiting for the Top Gun musical. I'd like that'd be great.
Oh yeah, what did we talk about? The Con Air. The Con
Air. Oh yeah,
musical.
Con Air musical would be really good too.
All right, go.
That's reaching elevated status in my world, by the way.
I know, I've seen.
Yeah, it's almost that Bodyguard level, which both are playing right now on cable. So this is like it's like Christmas all over again. I haven't
watched Bodyguard.
Christmas in January.
Just for the sake of the show, I'm going to have to watch it, and I'm already irritated that I have to watch it, but I'll do it.
All right, you can only have one carb the rest of your life. What is it?
Carb?
Carb. Bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes. Only one the rest of your life. It's a tough one from between pasta and potatoes. Rice and bread, I could walk away from easy.
Pasta.
Pasta, that'd be it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But potatoes are right up there.
Of course. Fries.
Well, fries, and you got au gratin, and you got baked, and you got mashed.
Yeah.
And you got, hash browns.
All right, I'm going to switch.
Potatoes?
Because of how many iterations there are of potatoes.
All right.
I'm going to
never have pasta again?
I could probably figure out how to make a potato into pasta.
See, it's close. I'd probably stick with pasta.
I'm switching. Now that I think about it.
Potatoes?
Oh, yeah. My first instinct was pasta just because I love it.
Yeah.
But potatoes? Holy shit. You mentioned like 6 that I want right now. I haven't eaten anything today. I had coffee today, and now I want like all of the potatoes.
All right, that's good. All right, see, look at that.
All right. Do you take the shampoo and conditioner bottles from a hotel?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, for sure. I take I take the shower cap. I take the shoe shiner. I never use them. And then eventually I stumble across them somewhere in my apartment like 6 months later, and then you throw them in the garbage.
I think my dad still has that shit from like our trips to Disney in the 80s.
I would take them. Definitely shampoo and conditioner.
I don't take them generally because they suck. Like I'll use them in the shower and be like, you know what? Isn't good. I don't know what the hell am I going to do with them? Throw them out?
If I don't take them, you know what I do? Is I'll use the entire bottle like in the one shampoo that I use.
Yeah.
You put the
because
entire
you and I
bottle
have
on.
like a really, exactly. Like the whole thing where you have like enough foam for 6 people.
Right. Yeah. And then I use it out and I do my body hair with it and I'm like, yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah. I just, if I found one that didn't
entire bottle
stink,
of
but they're always like
conditioner.
gross. I don't, they're not like,
well, yeah,
they don't
you
smell
stay at
good.
like Red Roof Inn and stuff, Motel 6 and what was the one, what's the one on Ogden in
Sybaris?
Naperville? No, it's always the Sahara Inn. Remember that one?
No.
I think that's the name of it. I drove past it in Ogden not too long ago.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Is it last one here?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your last one?
You go. You're going.
I just did the shampoo and conditioner one.
I'm going then, jerk. What is my last one here?
My last one cracks me up. So stupid. Did you lose one of 5?
No, I have hundreds here. I had found his website.
Oh,
that
you don't?
And I'm just. Yeah.
I do too, but I pull 5 out because otherwise I'd never be able to find them.
I totally forgot to do it until I saw moderately paced fire questions on the board.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Moderately paced planning.
Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump are both drowning, and you can only save one. Who would it be?
Can I push them both under?
You have to save one. You can
no, you
only
didn't say
save one.
have to.
I just
now
did.
You did.
You have to save one, and you can only save
Kardashian,
one.
boobs. Trump, useless.
Right. Well, he's got boobs.
Yeah, but I don't want moobs.
Okay.
I want real boobs. Well, they're not real. But they might be. I think she just has a fake butt.
I like fake butts. And
You?
I cannot lie.
Same? Can't see you saving
yeah,
Donald
I would.
Trump.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I would like push her in front of a bus.
Right. But I would say,
Like, pull her
hey,
out of the water.
I'm going to save you,
Yeah.
but as long as on the, if you don't speak
Right. No, as in pulling her out of the water all in one motion.
in front of
into
like
a bus.
like a cement. Okay. Last question. Do you have or have you ever owned a bathrobe?
No.
Yeah, me either.
Never have.
I feel like that's just
Never have.
not,
Well, it was
it's not
funny.
my thing, man.
We saw a commercial earlier with the dude in full on like grown up male pajamas. I've never owned pajamas.
No, me either. I have pajama pants. Like I wear the hell out of pajama pants, but they're always like flannel. I don't have like linen pajama pants. No, I've never had like a pajama outfit.
I don't think I've ever even owned pajama pants.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, I usually would just throw on sweatpants and I don't. Yeah, I sleep in boxers. So
Well, don't sleep in them. I just mean when it's like cold.
Yeah, I love like TV like sitcoms where like guys are in bed and they pull the covers back and they come out. They have socks, pants.
Yeah,
like long sleeve
sweating my
shirts.
ass
Like,
off.
seriously?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no. I have a shitload of pajama pants though, like flannel, just for like sitting around when it's in winter.
Yeah.
So I don't have the heat on at like 76. You know, I appreciate what the bill is. Like fuck that.
All right, what is your favorite carnival food?
Fuck, I don't eat that anymore. But what did I used to eat? Well, I don't eat it anymore because I don't go to carnivals.
Well, you have to come out for Libertyville days, hang out with the boys. I go straight for the corn dog because corn dog is generally something I don't have at home.
Yeah,
ever.
because I mean, like when I was younger, I would eat like the, cotton candy and funnel cakes and all that shit. But no.
Corn dog is the way to go.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say corn dog, or if the last time I was there, I would always get like the popcorn because it always smelled good.
Yeah. Here's a bonus question because I think this is a ridiculous question to ask. If you were given an all expenses paid trip to Cleveland, would you take it?
Yeah.
Oh, a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Why would you not go to Cleveland?
I would probably take an all expense paid trip anywhere.
Right.
But I've been to Cleveland. I don't want to live there.
Right.
But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is cool. There's a really cool
there's enough sports there
there's
to
a cool
entertain
section
yourself.
of bars along the lake.
Great restaurants.
Yeah.
One of my favorite chefs, Michael Simon, he's from Cleveland, has a bunch of restaurants there.
Absolutely.
You're going to pay for me to go to Cleveland? Now, they're like all expenses paid trip to Gary. Would you go?
No.
Okay. How about like...
well, no, but can they just send me there and then I can leave?
How about Minooka?
I would rather do that than Gary.
Harvey?
Anything. I would do anything over Gary.
Dubuque.
Seriously. Gary's really bad. So insert town name here.
Yeah,
I would
so
go there
if
over Gary.
Anyone wants to send the show to Cleveland, feel free to email us at afdshow@gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps up our lengthy segment one.
As usual. That's become the new trend right now.
And then we zip through 2 and 3. So hang tight. We're taking a break. I need some Kofefi and a throat lozenge. This is episode 20. It's called Beach Warden. We're giving you some warm thoughts on a chilly day. For us, it is Saturday, January 6th.
And it is
2018.
bet it's about 3 degrees, are you thinking? Or
It's maybe 10.
It's
7
16 right now.
Oh, no, it's a heat wave kicking.
Feels like -3.
This is the AFD show, Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, our very good friends in Lake County. They are the first and the original brew pub, and they're tapping still Santa's Magic. Get over there and get some. Located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and historic downtown Libertyville.
Dad? Dad? Dad?
What?
I can't go to sleep unless I get tucked in.
What?
I can't go to sleep unless I get tucked in.
I am not gonna tuck you in.
I promise I'll go right to sleep.
Fine.
All right, welcome back into the program. It's episode 20, Beach Warden. It's Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. Glad to have you with the show once again. Thanks for downloading, supporting. Remember, tell your friends, family members, relatives, coworkers all about the show. We'd love to have them as part of our listening audience. Episode 20 already. Happy New Year to you, 2018. And this is episode 20, Beach Warden. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. We start off a segment 2 of each episode with our segment, That's So Wisconsin. And of course, it is brought to you by our good friends at Will's Northwoods Inn.
Yes, at 3030 North Racine. I actually stopped in there during this week. Had a Schlitz. Yep, I did, because it's always $3 and always a tall boy can. And God, I love that place, man. It was fun. They have, like, if you've never been in there, I know you've been in there, but listeners, if you've never been in there, it's like a really cool bar. I love that it's like in the pocket of Lakeview, but it's away from, it's not on like the main drag. It's not like on Diversey or Fullerton or Belmont.
Yeah.
Like, it's off it. But you go in there and they have like a huge aquarium against a wall, like deer, moose heads, like all that stuff. So it looks like a lodge, but I don't know. It's very welcoming. I've gone in there just when like the Packers are playing or playing the Bears or whatever, and it reminds me of living in Wisconsin. Like, they're not dicks. Like, it's like a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
Fun place. Really, really good food, man.
If I go to
so
excuse me, if I go to like Finn's on a Sunday during the NFL season, I always forget how close I am to Wisconsin. Because I always wonder, like, why there's so many Packers jerseys and Packers hats and, like, people cheering for the Packers game. And it's always on. I forget, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm basically 15 minutes away from Wisconsin border. There's going to be a lot of Packers fans up here. But I think I would rather experience a Wisconsin game, Packers game.
At Will's?
At Will's.
Oh, man.
For sure, yeah.
Packers games there are like, it's like any bar that is, like most of a city, if they're not a different state bar.
But a Badger
it's
game.
It's a Bears
I'm
bar.
sure.
But the Badgers games, oh man. And what I do like is, I wasn't still not 100% sold on like Wisconsin, but I mean, I did live there for 3 years. But Madison and going to those tailgates, legit, man. Super fun. Good. They're not assholes. They weren't bad to any fans, even if it was rivalry stuff. Like, I appreciate it. And Will's watching Wisconsin games there, same thing. Big fan contingent, obviously. Super pumped about it, but they don't treat anybody like crap. So, well, that being said, that's Will's Northwoods Inn. That's our segment sponsor, and now that leads into That's So Wisconsin.
Right. So we try to find a story out of the great state of Wisconsin to bring to you each week from our good friends Will's Northwoods Inn. And this one, you got quite the doozy here. So this looks pretty exciting to me.
For those of you who have not gone to this website, it's called Cult of Weird. It's really cool. Matt is not feeling well, so I'm hoping that...
all those coughing.
I'm going to need
noises.
to take a shitload of vitamins now so I don't get sick for the third time this winter. But anyway, cultofweird.com, really cool website. It just kind of highlights funny stuff in different cities. This one is talking about
weird.
Wisconsin, and the headline is Spend the Weekend in a UFO in Northern Wisconsin. And Matt's going to take off with the details.
Yeah, when you think of getaways in Northern Wisconsin, camping or cabins usually come to mind. However... I think most Cult of Weird readers would agree that a lakeside UFO sounds much more interesting. The late 1960s bore witness to a strange but efficient art.
It's like Art Deco. You could totally tell this is 60s. Like, if you've ever watched Mad Men, this totally looks like just like straight 60s decor, like the low profile chairs and everything. Hey, Matt, you don't even need to read all the specifics.
It's a UFO shaped house. Only 96 of the odd homes were ever even built. There's a bunch of pictures here.
It looks like
it's shaped like a big pod,
right?
So it's going to look like a UFO.
But remember,
what you would imagine.
Actually, I think like late '60s, early '70s, weren't they called like bungalows? It looks like a bungalow.
There's light yellow cabinets.
Oh yeah, like the light yellow or the green.
Is that a foam, like a padded toilet seat?
It's a padded toilet.
Gotta have a padded toilet seat.
But it's like the round one where like normal adult butt doesn't fit on.
Yeah.
That looks like a nice bed.
That's a big old bed.
Delightful bed. All right. So anyway, if you want to, does it say the town at least? Where can we find said UFO?
Oh yeah, it is located on. It's Sumach.
Sumac?
Yeah, Sumac Lake in Arbor. VITAE.
Yes, we're both not strong readers and blind.
No, it's I can see it fine. I didn't know how to pronounce it. All right. Sumac Lake, and it's in Wisconsin.
I do like this sentence.
Yeah,
there was a sentence in there that said that something about like when VHS tapes were.
Yeah, there's even the original pod here. It even includes 80s sci-fi movies on VHS and DVD for a true retro experience. Definitely VHS.
I love that somehow DVD.
Right.
Is retro.
Retro now.
Oh, boy.
Well, because it's what's the Blu-ray or you just steal it from the internet.
Oh, it's streaming online though,
right?
Right? Like I don't go rent things.
No.
All right, Sicky.
Chiefs are up 21-3. By the way, that game's over at halftime. Okay. That one's done. All right, so that was our That's So Wisconsin segment, and its course is brought to you by our good friends Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out for all things, of course, Wisconsin, but more so than just that, it's a great place to hang out and grab yourself a big tall boy of Schlitz.
Yes.
And you'll probably see Ferrari there. So.
Well, yeah, not that often, but I'm not going to lie. If you tweet at us or send us an email at, at AFDE Show on Twitter or afdeshow@gmail.com and say, hey, I'm going to Will's, I live close enough that I'll probably go there.
This is great. So it brings us into our stories in the news, things that you need to know that you probably haven't seen.
So I couldn't find anything that I thought made the tops on the Mirror, but this is metro.uk because they seem to do like really good reporting. But so I thought this was extra funny because my wife is in Florida for 3 weeks, and it's kind of like, well, the rest of us are freezing, so. But in southern Florida, Miami area, it's not like that. It's still warm. But this headline says it's so cold in Florida, frozen iguanas are falling from trees.
So temperatures, they've dropped below 40 degrees early Thursday, parts of southern Florida. They were, according to the National Weather Service, Miami is very unusual for that part of the state. It was so chilly that iguanas were unable to move. Frank Carabino tweeted a picture of one of the belly-up iguanas next to a swimming pool.
Picture is so funny.
The cold-blooded creatures.
It looks like a toy.
Right. Native to Central South America. Start to get sluggish when temperatures fall below 50 degrees. Kristen Summers, who oversees the Fish and Wildlife Program for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, says that that's the issue with the iguanas. It's too cold for them to move. They're not the only reptiles stunned by this week's cold
Look
snap.
at the bottom part.
Sea turtles often stiffen up when temperatures fall. The Wildlife Commission biologists have been rescuing cold-stunned sea turtles found floating listlessly on the water or near shore.
We read the bottom sentence, though.
But no rescue is planned for any of the iguanas. Well-meaning residents finding stiffened iguanas are advertised to leave them alone as they may feel threatened and bite once they warm up.
Once they warm up.
Summer says, don't assume they're dead.
Yeah.
That's great. So it does. It looks like a seat, like a pool toy.
Don't mess with the frozen iguanas. They will attack.
Like what you would picture in a cartoon. It's just on its back.
No,
and
but
its
it
legs
does.
up in the air.
Like it reminds me of like the dinosaur toys, like just just a plastic toy.
Right.
That's what they look like.
Great.
Okay, this is especially just warms our hearts as the amount of laughter that Matt and I shared during the story of the Mad Pooper. Can't remember what episode that was, but. If you don't remember the Mad Pooper, the Colorado jogger who would just poop in people's yards.
It was the same yard. Was pooping in the same yard. And the woman was leaving a note. She was like, please stop crapping in my yard.
Yes.
Like her children found a big pile. Actually, no, the children walked around the corner out and she was there pooping. That's right.
Right. This headline, the shit bandit, I love this. The shit bandit, a mad pooper copycat, torments Arkansas household.
So a truly unfortunate woman in Little Rock, Arkansas is the victim of one of the shittiest possible crimes, a mad poopening.
Shittiest possible crimes.
In the tradition of the Mad Pooper of Colorado Springs and possibly her tribute act up in the Orchard Park, New York. A runner left a large crap on Tiffany Matazila's driveway while out on a run last weekend. She assumed it was an innocent mistake or an animal until she checked security footage and discovered the pooper to be a man on the run. Man on the run. When we did, we found it was not a dog. She explained it was a person who had been jogging down the street, ran up between the two cars, pooped, and ran away. The perp, dubbed as the Shit Bandit, returned to the scene of the crime yesterday.
Shit Bandit.
And went a step further, leaving a soiled paper towel in the handle of Metzella's car. Oh! Which she touched while opening the door that would seem to wipe out any chance of the turd being wipe out any chance of the turd being unintentional. As this appears to be a revenge poop, she has notified Little Rock PD, who are investigating. If you have any information about the mad pooper in Arkansas and you're listening, because we have a big audience in Arkansas,
or if you yourself did the craps,
please don't hesitate to email the reporter. That's great.
And to follow that up, from we mentioned our guy. Like, can you get on? I'm sorry, I'm doing this.
What?
Our guy Boris.
Oh yeah, Boris.
Our guy Boris emailed us.
Sorry, I walked away to cough.
No, and I'm not in front of a microphone. But our guy Boris emailed us to say thank you for the mention and brought this to our attention. There is actually a documentary coming out that is called Poop Talk, and it's by the dude that did the big what?
The Big Sick.
The Big Sick.
Yeah.
What is it? Kumar? No, now I feel like a racist. Oh, Kumal. Yeah. No, I'm not a racist asshole. It's Kumal Nanjiani, right?
Yeah, a very funny man.
Okay, but if you look,
very
at
good movie too, by the way.
A lot of funny stuff. All right.
Adam Carolla, Pete Holmes, Simon Rex, Aisha Taylor, Nikki.
Do you remember Simon Rex?
Lasser. Yep. Dr. Drew
from MTV.
Yep.
Okay.
Jason Sklar, Brad Williams, Lauren Weedman, Bobby Lee, Jonah Ray. That's February 16th.
So this is celebrities talking about poop. And
the A has the poop emoji.
Yes, and here's a click.
I just hated pooping so much that I figured poop is excess food or whatever. So I was for years a little obsessed with trying to eat the right amount. But then I would still poop.
People clock my restroom visits because somebody will see me go into a bathroom and be like, oh, that's the guy from Modern Family, and then be waiting for me coming out. It's like my worst fear. It's like, I'm glad I don't public poop. They'd be like, Rose.
Public poop.
5 minutes in there.
We call those road games.
Powerful disgust, biology associated with it, and then the culture reinforces all that with shame and embarrassment.
I'm okay with you knowing that I'm doing it. I'm just not okay with you hearing it, and I'm not okay with you smelling it.
I really think it's called number 2 because it's the second best thing you can do with your body.
My mother used to call them bowel movements.
Poop. 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 Poop, right?
I definitely think about poop probably more than most people. I don't know, maybe everybody thinks about poop a lot.
It's the only thing that we can all agree on that everyone does. It might be slightly different, but we all get it.
The way that we can take in and eliminate impurities, it's a biological marvel.
I don't think I've ever pooped in Royal Stadium. I don't think I've ever pooped in Dodger Stadium. I know I've never pooped at Staples Center.
I got poop all down my leg.
My legs didn't dangle below the door. Another dude, when he left, he thought he was by himself in the bathroom, so he just turns off the light. I was freaking out.
This still has not been verified by me. I may have cleaned up Nick Swartzen's poop.
100% true.
It's Nick Swartzen.
Are you done with your poop talk?
I'm done with my poop talk.
That's the daughter of the Sklar brothers who have are responsible for said Poop Talk movie.
There you go. Yeah, Randy and Jason Sklar. So that is Poop Talk, and that's in the news, things that you should know that you probably didn't see. But who doesn't love good Poop Talk?
Well, we definitely do on this show,
Right.
that's for sure. Right, we're moving into...
Got another one there, or are we going on to...
No, man,
okay.
that's Poop Talk. Now we're into your
pull up
domain.
our dumb criminals here, and I found this is it's a radio station that let's pull this up here. Oh no, don't want that one. Don't want to do that one, not yet. Don't want to talk about the funniest tweets of the week. So this is a radio station.
The dumb criminal, man. What's going on over there?
It's Q106, and we don't know where they're located, but they have a stupid criminal files they post every week. So glad I found them.
Oh no!
So here's some.
We know how posting every week works.
Some brief stories for you. Man uses stolen cash to buy an engagement ring. Dustin F. Peterson.
Oh boy.
His romantic side landed him in jail. The 36-year-old is being charged with robbing a bank in Middleton, New Jersey. How they know is Peterson. He allegedly wore the same hat during the second robbery. He isn't a complete jerk, though. Peterson bought his girlfriend an engagement ring worth just under $4,500 less than an hour after the robbery. He denied robbing one of the banks, but there are jail phone calls of Peterson and his fiancée discussing the crimes. Hey, at least she did say yes. Backpackers snort mystery substance they thought was cocaine.
Ooh.
What's dumber, snorting cocaine or snorting a powder you think is cocaine?
What was it?
A group of 9 backpackers from multiple countries were rushed to hospital in Western Australian city of Perth after snorting a drug they mistakenly thought was cocaine.
So it was a drug and it wasn't just a random substance?
In reality, they ingested hyoscine, a prescription drug, which left them suffering seizures, paralysis, and hallucinations.
Do we know what that drug is for?
Don't. I have to look it up. I didn't look it up.
What's it called?
Hyoscine? Yeah, Hyoscine. Hyoscine.
I got it.
SC Niner. What is it for?
Muscle cramps and bowels or bladder. It can treat symptoms of irritable
IBS.
Irritable syndrome.
It can treat IBS.
That's the name of an episode.
Yes, it can treat IBS.
Yes. Okay then.
A woman gets away with mauling her husband.
So they snorted IBS meds.
A woman gets away with mauling her husband's junk. Abigail Geiger is a lucky lady. Back in September, she got into a fight with her husband in the shower. At one point, she grabbed his junk in an effort to prevent him from leaving. Geiger's husband, David, was left with puncture marks and scratch marks all over his privates.
Puncture marks? Jesus.
She was hit with assault charges, which have been withdrawn. The stranger part, no reason was given for the change of heart. So there you go. Those are some dumb criminals of the week.
All right.
So congratulations to those. Which, of course, brings us into every portion here of each episode in segment 2. We end it with Jason Ferrari and dumb apps, and these two you've got to have made these two up.
Nope, I've not made these up, and yes,
do not believe they're real.
I told Matt we've talked about this at length about are we going to run out of dumb apps? Nope, not yet. Okay, first app is called Ghetto Tweets. I mean, before I read anything, I just feel like, how did this racist named tweet end up in the download library? But Ghetto Tweets is a Twitter tool that automatically converts your tweets into street slang. So I remember years ago,
Ghetto Tweets.
There was this thing that came out from I don't even think it was from Snoop Dogg, but it was basically like someone coming up with a Google search engine called Gazoogle, where you could type in anything and it would turn into Snoop language. That was funny. You know, and at that, now looking back on it and then reading this, it's funny, but Snoopisms, this is racist. I feel this is racist.
It's
right?
incredibly offensive and racist.
Yeah.
100%.
Ghetto Tweets is a Twitter tool that automatically converts your tweets into
Yeah.
quote unquote street slang.
This might be the dumbest one. This might be the dumbest
Or at least
one ever.
the most inappropriate. Well, no, we've seen ones
no,
where it
the
was
ones
like
with,
Asian, like Asian
up
guys.
skirts.
Yeah, the upskirts.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first one I just thought of.
Japanese upskirts, right? That
yeah.
was this is the dumbest thing ever.
Okay, all right. So
this might be the dumbest one you've brought to us.
Followed up by this one. I just read it and was like, who other than someone who maybe, I don't know, like specifically works on this as a job or something. This is called Virtual Yeast Cell.
Yeah, YEAST. He
Yes.
said yeast.
This app tells you everything you ever wanted to know about the basic structure of a yeast cell. So, yeah, that's an app that someone was like, well, there are a lot of people out there who are curious about yeast cells, and now they can understand the basic structure.
And that right there concludes our dumb segment, Dumb Criminals and Dumb Apps. And it's available for you to sponsor. You or your business. Even individuals can do it too. Dumb Apps brought to you every week by my good friend Jason Ferrari. This is episode 20, Beach Warden. We are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown and historic Libertyville.
Shit, man. That hunky must be messing my old lady. Got to be running coal upside down his head, you know?
Hey, home, I can dig it. No, I ain't gonna lay no more big rap up on you, man.
I say, hey, Sky. Southern say I won't see. Freddie J, I just the same old, same old.
Hey, knock yourself approach, slick. The gray matter back, lot performers down, not take TCB in, man.
Hey, you know what they say? See a broad to get that booty action? Leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Cole got to be. Yo, shit.
All right, welcome back into episode 20. It's Beach Warden. This is segment number 3. Batacola and Ferrari discuss everything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown historic Libertyville. We start off segment 3 each episode with our tweets of the week. And of course, I present to you from our friends at Huffington Post. These are the funniest tweets from parents this week. Our reporter, our feared navigator through this world of funny tweets is Hollis Miller. We do thank her for putting this together every week from Huffington Post. Our first one is a celebrity tweet.
What?
It's from @Chrissy Teigen.
Really?
Yeah, Chrissy Teigen made the parents'
we follow
funniest
her,
tweets of the
and
remember.
I love her tweets.
Well, remember these are the funniest tweets of the week.
All right.
Chrissy Teigen, I am, quote, someone on Twitter told me to be the bigger person, and I said I am the bigger person and cried, end quote, weeks pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant with her second child.
Yep.
All right.
Here is from @Exploding Unicorn, exploding with an X.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're back.
I was never sure how my mom really felt about me. Then she bought my kids a karaoke machine. Now I know. Not bad.
I'm guessing
Not
that
bad.
means like she's saying mom doesn't like me because now, she has to endure that.
Oh, and by the way, Exploding Unicorn is a man. Is a
Well, that's why I said
gentleman.
they.
Yeah.
Because I know that some of these I don't know who they are, but that's a repeat.
It's a repeat.
He
is a repeat. As is @Unfiltered Mama.
Right.
Tried to sleep in today, but my toddler just stood outside my door yelling, "Someone no want to be my friend," until I gave up. Here is
Wait, can you read that again? Just,
sure.
What?
Tried to sleep in today.
No. Just what the kid said.
But my toddler stood outside the door yelling, "Someone no want to be my friend," until I gave up.
Okay.
This is from @Mother Playlist. Alexa, feed my kids.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Actually, I hate that person so much, but it's funny.
Here is from the @Alex Neville. Now, question mark? Kids to almost everything.
Okay.
Here's @Copy Mama. Hour 2 of this snow day, and I'm prepared to go full on Iditarod to get my kids to school tomorrow if necessary.
I will say I am proud of her for using Iditarod.
Right.
Okay. Moving on.
Here's @Ramblin' Mama.
Oh, repeat.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that toddler tantrums are 100% louder in Costco.
Could be the case.
Yeah. This is
Probably.
from a great name here, Rodney LaCroix. His handle is @MOOOOOOG35. Moog
35. Does this mean? Oh, whatever.
Kids, yay, a snow day. Same kids, 3 minutes into power outage with no internet. This is terrible.
I can see how that's a problem.
Here's one from @Yenny White. Most of parenting.
Okay, that's a funny handle.
Most of parenting is yelling, "Hey," while being ignored.
Hey, also sidebar, it's Betty White's birthday. I believe she's pretty
102.
readily approaching 100. Yeah. Moving on. Okay, cool.
This is from @Susan Orlean. I love torturing my 13-year-old son by telling him I plan to start wearing overalls.
All right.
And the last one for you
The
here.
torturing part is not something you should probably lead with.
Remember, these were the funniest tweets of the week from Huffington Post. This is from @Dan O'Brien Writer. One of the joys of parenting a 4-year-old is telling them your hometown invented bagels. And that brings a conclusion to, once again, another exciting round of the funniest tweets of the week from parents according to the Huffington Post. Now, Jason has tweets for us from our Twitter follows.
Still a little hung up on the bagel one.
Yeah.
A 4-year-old understanding the lineage of anything.
Yeah.
But, okay.
What I do is I let them go in one ear, out the other immediately. There's no thought put to it.
Right. I don't think that they're like, wait.
Stopping you, though.
But explain to me where this comes from. So if you don't follow The Onion, I don't know what to do with you because The Onion is hilarious.
Yeah.
But they do these visual tweets where like you click on the article link and it's just a bigger version of the visual tweet.
Right.
This one is Aaron Rodgers balloons to 450 pounds after single inactive week in Wisconsin.
It's a great picture.
To where he looks like fat bastard, and it's pretty funny.
He looks like Peter Griffin, like that.
He
kind of
does.
Yes,
he does.
Like
with
from
the
like
neck,
the neck area. Yeah,
he totally does.
Is that great?
Oh man, it's super funny. Okay, so yeah, it's not a story about him. We have no problem with Aaron
Funny
Rodgers.
though. No,
Just,
love
it's
Aaron Rodgers.
funny nonetheless.
Right. Great looking picture. Like I actually laughed out loud at the picture.
Yeah.
You pulled it up, walked away. I looked at it, and I laughed. What's wrong? No, this picture
Yeah,
is
just
great.
looking at the. I was like trying to figure something out, and Matt just looked up. All right, so Libsyn, Libsyn, is the host of our podcast.
Right.
They have been the shit, and I love them. And oh man, anyway, yeah, it's been great. But anyway, yesterday they put out a tweet that said, "It's Promote the Tar Out of Yourself Friday. Give us your latest episode plus link." And we did, and they retweeted us, and we got like a really good boost. And what I appreciate about it the most is we're just getting new listeners. Like
Right.
that's what we want week to week. Like we love everyone who sticks with us, but we want new people. We love new people, man. Oh my God,
that was
that's
a good
the
one.
most aggressive.
That was
Italian
the best one.
That's the biggest Italian hand slap that we've done in 20 episodes.
Yeah, and it's AFDE show, AFDESHOW.LIBSYN.com.
man. But thank you, Libsyn. We totally appreciate it. This one, Matt actually, when we were talking about at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of our show, we're talking about people to follow. We followed a bunch of local guys, but Bruce
I like
Wolf,
this guy.
been
I
around
know
for a bit.
A lot of guys I used to work with don't. but
Whatever.
I like him.
I do too.
He's always been kind to me.
But
so
I thought this tweet was super funny. Bruce Wolf. Oh, it's at Bruce Wolf Shy, right?
Yeah, at Bruce. Bruce
you've
Wolf
got
Shy.
the screen turned, so I can't see. It says 44 years ago today. That is crazy in itself, right?
Right.
44 years ago today, my girlfriend (parentheses now wife) and I saw The Exorcist at the Lawrence Wood Theater. I hadn't known what an exorcism was. When I went to the theater, I think I'm still about 6 months away from sleeping with the light off.
That's great.
Dude, I just love that tweet. Love it. Okay.
God, I saw that as a kid. I mean, he was a grown up. He was a man seeing that. I was a kid seeing that. That's,
Well, I saw it. I saw that and like Poltergeist
Yeah.
and all that stuff when I was little because my parents really didn't they weren't sheltering me
Right.
from scary. My dad took me to Jaws. Like, I don't know. There were just moments that scared me. The
Right.
movies overall didn't. Okay, so this one is my favorite of all of them because
Yeah.
I think Rich Eisen is hilarious. But his response to what is it? At what? I can't see her handle.
Yeah, it's at Katie Turk NBC.
Oh, so yeah, he's not responding to a rando. It's actually like an NBC anchor of
Right.
sorts. And Rich Eisen's response
Well,
is...
no, her tweet
read that.
Does mustard go bad?
Yes. And Rich Eisen's retweet response is, if it's a colonel with a pipe in the conservatory, yes.
Very
Which
good.
I think is
That's very clever.
outstanding.
Yeah.
He always has really good tweets. And the best part is, look, he is such a Michigan
Huge Michigan
gomer.
fan, yeah,
And
it's-
given our scenario, and we've been like, in 20 episodes, we've been like the shittiest previously agreed upon Michigan fans that we could possibly be. So we probably need to like roll that into the new year. But anyway, thought that was funny.
Great response. Yep, very funny. Rich Eisen at Rich Eisen.
And this one
This is at Adam Schefter.
so good.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people didn't break this story, just shared this story, and
Right.
I'm very glad that this is a story. Ryan Shazier Well, the tweet says Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier has regained feeling in his legs, according to WPXI. But this story released nationwide, locally, and then went nationwide. But this is great because, well, I hope no one wants anyone to have a horrific NFL injury like this. But the fact that he went out, he's been just positive throughout.
Yeah.
And that this information comes out that he has feeling in his legs, that makes me very happy.
Yeah, no,
I hope it continues to get better for him.
Great linebacker. Seems like a great guy as well. And that concludes our tweets of the week. So, of course, I bring to you from the Huffington Post the funniest tweets from parents, according to them. And Jason will highlight some Twitter handles that we follow. And you can follow us at AFDE Show right there on Twitter. For us today, it is Saturday, January 6th, which leads us into this day in history. So our first story for us, what happened to it? Did it disappear on you?
Well, the middle one did.
Oh.
Hold on.
It's all right. See if you can find it. No big deal. We're not up against the clock here. There's no commercials. There's no log.
Just do this one, and I'll figure out where it is.
So January 6th, and this is exactly. It's funny that you pulled this up because I had this conversation with my mom earlier today.
Well, yeah. And
why do they keep bringing up this dumb story? It's a dumb story.
It's timely given the fact that I, Tanya came out that we were talking about,
I'm like,
right?
well, Mom, I'm like, the movie came out and there's an interview coming out with Tanya Harding. I don't care. Who cares? I'm like, well, Mom, it's an anniversary. So it's January 6th.
It's also an Olympic event, right?
Right. Or someone ball batted someone's leg. January 6th, 1994, skater Nancy Kerrigan is attacked. Olympic hopeful Nancy Kerrigan attacked at a Detroit ice rink following a practice session 2 days before the Olympic trials. A man hit Kerrigan with a club on the back of her knee, causing the figure skater to cry out in pain and bewilderment. Hey, why? Yeah. When the full story emerged a week later, the nation became caught up in the real-life soap opera. One of Kerrigan's chief rivals for a place on the U.S. figure skating team was Tanya Harding. In mid-December 1993, Harding's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, which just sounds like a dirtbag name. Totally. Right? It's just like, that's Jeff a bad guy name. Yeah. Approached Sean Eckhart about somehow eliminating Kerrigan from the competition. Eckhart set up a meeting with Derek Smith and Shane Stant, who agreed to injure Kerrigan for a fee. So that was January 6th, 1994, that she was attacked.
Right. All right. I'm going to try and find the middle one, but let's go to this one because this is, wow. I just remember this so much. This is amazing, right?
I remember, I think I was at my brother's house.
Not amazing, but just it's historic.
So this is January 6th, 2001. Congress certifies Bush winner of 2000 elections
after months.
Yeah, I think I was at Mark's house.
Okay.
When it finally came through, I remember I was watching all this with him. Cheering and being very happy. After a bitterly contested election, Vice President Al Gore presides over a joint session of Congress that certifies George W. Bush as the winner of the 2000 election in one of the closest presidential elections in U.S. history. W was finally declared the winner more than 5 weeks after the election due to the disputed Florida ballots, which we all learned the word, was it Chad?
Yeah. Chads. Yes.
Yeah. Gore became the third presidential candidate to win the popular vote but lose the election after the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 to halt Florida's manual recount. The ruling in effect gave Florida's 25 electoral votes to Bush, giving him 271 to Gore's 266.
Also, if you are checking the website that refers to this day in history that we pull from, apparently Hanes bras are 30 to 40% off.
Yeah, and it's a lovely brassiere. I mean, if I was going to wear a brassiere, I would definitely pick that one, and I would certainly go with a nude color so that it wouldn't show in case I had like something strapless on or something with sleeveless and maybe it would pop out over the shoulder. Wouldn't like that, but 30 to 40% off Hanes. You all right? Did you lose your other story or no?
No, yeah, I just can't find it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. This day in history, January 6th, which leads us into our inspirational story.
I don't know if you read this
of the day. I did not.
Okay, I didn't. I was going to send it to you.
Pull this up. I did not see this.
Anyway, our inspirational story is on.
I like the headline though. I like where this is going to go.
No, this is something that I read a while ago.
Okay.
And Matt and I don't know. We've got some stories that we think are great, and we kind of, it's in the on deck circle, but this one I think is great.
Read that quote from the start too, though.
All right. So Yeah, sorry.
That's right.
The letter, or the name of the letter.
NFL.com.
A thank you letter to my bullies. And
Martin Luther King Jr.
But Connor Williams is the one who did the article, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I can't see this.
It starts with a quote from Martin Luther King. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King Jr. Dear bullies of my past.
Yeah. So the letter starts.
Yeah. Thank you. No sarcasm intended. No hatred. Certainly no anger. Just a simple thank you. Honestly, I don't know how I could have accomplished what I have so far without your teasing, without your isolation, without your rumor mongering, your harassment, your beatings, your constant torment. In a few months, I expect to hear my name announced at the NFL draft. If I'm lucky enough, maybe even on the first night. I've come a long way from those dark days, and I truly owed it all to you. That's the start of it. I would certainly encourage you. I'm gonna
we're not going to recite the entire article, but that's just
give you an idea of where it's headed, what it is.
Just appreciate.
It's great.
God, so many of these guys are coming into the draft. They're going to be pros. Obviously, so many people are pros, but I do appreciate the journey that these guys take, and that actually I think becomes more interesting to me. The draft is a fun thing. We love seeing the puzzle pieces that people take and they plug in, and they hope that this actually helps to progress their franchise. But I love the fact that this kid was just like, man, I was bullied. And think about it, man. He didn't walk on to a D2, D3 school, which I'm not saying I disrespect.
Right.
But this kid plays at Texas. That's a BFD, man.
Right.
This is a big, big, big deal. And he's using bullies as a reason that he's not only made his way to the University of Texas, but is now most likely going to become a pro. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's NFL.com, Connor Williams. Check it out. I bullied a kid once in grade school. Was picking on a kid on the playground, and another kid came forward, told me to stop, and when I said something smart, I'm sure he punched me in the face. And that was the last time I ever picked on somebody in school.
All right, so we're not going to drag out the show, but I do. And you just, you've made me curious. So I was never imposing.
Yeah.
I actually at some point in my life got to the point where I was the same height, but started to get bigger from working out, to the point where I actually was as close to imposing as possible. But I never used it unless someone did something to someone else and it I needed to, right? But as far as bullying, I was never really bullied that I can recall.
Yeah.
Other than I was a freshman in high school. It was day one at Downers Grove South, and I don't know, some older kids were hazing, and I was in the bathroom, and they tried to give me a fucking, what do you call that, a swirly?
Yeah, in the toilet.
Yeah, and then I had 3 guys that lived in my neighborhood who were sophomore, junior, senior, who were in that area and walked in and were no. And in my mind, I was kind of thank God, because I didn't want to, have my head deposited in the toilet.
3-on-1, right.
But I also, I appreciated that so much. But then from that moment on, I don't know. I think I just, your face, your body, your what you're all about. I was nah. No. I don't. And everyone was bigger than me in high school.
Yeah.
The whole time. I graduated at 5'6", 135 pounds. I could lift 100 pounds over my weight.
Yeah.
But I was. But you know what? You make that face and you're never that again. And I think that story is the same thing. This kid was all right, I got my ass kicked.
Right.
But now,
good
I'm going
for
to be
him.
a pro.
Yeah, check that out. NFL.com, Connor Williams, stories to his bullies. That is the end of episode 20. Beach Warden, thank you for downloading, listening. Please tell someone that you know and love and care about the show. afdeshow.libsyn.com. That's how you can easily get to it. Our Twitter handle is at AFDEshow. Facebook.com/AFDEshow. Email us anytime, afdeshow@gmail.com. We thank Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in Lakeview, and also our presenting sponsor, Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. We'll talk to you next time for episode 21.